of April. Let's get started for the Pulver report. We know there's risk in trading. Please always use trade capital only. Everything we're talking about is for educational purposes only. You know the deal. Let's get into the charts. Everything is pushing lower. I have some I wanted to take a look at this morning. Don't go to dark mode. What is this? There we go. All right, Netflix down to 568, which is around a $40+ gap. Expected move should have been in the 60s. We're going to see if we have some risk-off trading today. Let's go to the major indexes. Bring up the chat. Say good morning to everybody. Morning, Chris. How are you? Good, Chris. How are you? Just kidding. Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. All right. Let's see here. So, a couple things to be aware of as far as where we are at. This larger swing from October's low to now. We finally rolled over. We've had. I did the interesting math on this yesterday. Literally, this entire sell-off, about 85% of the sell-off has been in 2 days. So if you look at the candle here, which was a massive Thursday sell-off, and then Monday of this week, those two candles right there are responsible for about 4.5% of the 5% sell-off. So if we go to the all-time highs, get down to yesterday's low, which was just shy of that 5,000 mark in the SPX, we're sitting right around that 5% level. To fill the NVIDIA gap, it's another 0.25%. All right. So point is, could we still soften up and head lower? Yes. But I do think that the 236, the 30, and the 382 levels will be offering up, some bid in the next, week or so. It wouldn't be surprising if today is one of those days where, maybe it tests 5,000 and then we rip up for the day. I know that everything is a little risk off right now with everything tension, escalating, geopolitical risks, kind of threat of a war again. And here we are with another, there's your 2-day sell-off. We're getting close to the filling that NVIDIA gap. There's your 236 pullback, your 30, and your 382. Again, not trying to call the bottom, but we do have 1, 2, 3, 4 days closing outside of the Bollinger Bands. We're not quite oversold. I looked at this yesterday. If I go to several time frames here, this is the daily time frame in the SPX. We're not oversold. If we go to a 4-hour chart, we probably are getting close. 4-hour chart, yeah, we're getting closer, but we're not oversold yet. So probably some more downside pressure. I'm still looking to fade. I think what I'm going to do today, so I have an expiration on the DIA. As long as price stays above 370, I'll collect some dollars there. I have had some wins all week on the SPX, and I'm looking to see maybe going into Monday or even next Friday, I might look to see what levels maybe I could get a pin going on the 30 or probably the 38%. If I can get enough credit down here at the 38% around 480 on the SPY, I can see what that looks like from a broken wing butterfly perspective. In fact, I might look at that this morning. And good morning. Giza, good morning. David, good morning. Gary, good morning. Joe, what's happening? All right. Nice to see everybody. So that's where we're at on the SPY. Take a look at the DIA. We've had about 3 or 4 days of indecision after Monday's big sell-off. Again, big Thursday. This was on the 4th. And then Monday this week was a big sell-off to push us down. The 30% level has been hit by the DIA. My strike is a 370. So I did a broken wing butterfly where, if price is going to dump a little bit lower, I don't think it's coming down that much today. I mean, from this point, we'd have to see a 2+% sell-off on the Dow. If it does happen, that's kind of a good thing because it hit my peak level. But more than likely, we're going to stay somewhat contained and stay around, I think lows around 376 or so, highs around 380. So we might just stay somewhat sideways. So I think as I'm looking at some trades for next week, I might look a little bit lower, go out a little bit farther. This Dow area, I might do the same thing again if I can get the credit for it. Let me bring up my broker platform here. Get logged in. Saying good morning, Denise. Good morning. Happy Friday. Netflix had earnings, like I said, about $40 to $42 lower. I'm hoping that will push towards 60 plus. I have a couple of plays on TSM. TSM's at 129. I need to stay below 134 today. That would be a 75-cent credit, 73-cent credit. And that should initiate my session. Just give me 1 second. Let's go. Okay, still waiting. Come on. There it is. All right, I'll come back to that in a second. All right, so the couple earnings plays. Earnings for this morning, right in here. We have Procter & Gamble before market, American Express before market, Huntington Bank Shares, Fifth Third Corp, Schlumberger before market. Obviously, it's end of day, end of week. Netflix was after market. DR Horton, let me take a look at that one. DHI. Blackstone, I took a trade on that. Let's see if Blackstone's going anywhere. I think it was pushing to the downside yesterday. 119. We're looking to see if this will push down towards 115 or next week. This is a 426 expiration. If we rip up here towards 133, I did an iron butterfly on Blackstone. And what else did I want to look at? Dollar index pulling back a little bit. Here's currency strength from today. Swiss yen. Wait, this is happening today? You gotta be kidding me. Wow. Interesting. This has to be some, Middle East escalated tensions, risk off flows through the evening. We've come back to balance a little bit. Swiss is stronger. I'm okay with that. I mean, getting some pullbacks. I still like the Swiss getting weaker with some risk on, trying to time it a little bit. And I think we could still pressure a little bit more to the downside. I'm not ready to start getting aggressive on a dip. I think if we pull back to the 382, let's look back at the SPX again. Okay, just look left on this chart. Here's the daily. Two levels I'd love to see. I mean, really, any of these levels getting hit, I think the market can at least show some type of bounce. But ideally would be we come back in and retest the all-time highs. That's where I'd be willing to take a stab and say, okay, I don't think we're going too much lower than that with at least a bounce. Technically speaking, we should bounce. That would be a healthy correction, 8-9% off the highs. And that would be, like 8 and change to hit the all-time highs. That's a pretty stiff correction. So let's find out. Let's see if we get it. As we're slowly going lower, I mean, watching this intraday yesterday, trying to think what I did yesterday. So Tuesday, I ended up doing a bear call spread. I should have it wasn't enough credit intraday, but I did a broken wing butterfly on the top and a broken wing butterfly on the bottom. Paid out nicely on Tuesday. Wednesday, as we came down lower, we pushed lower. I was able to get like 50 to 60 cents on a broken wing below the 5,000 handle. Did the same thing yesterday when we broke out. We came back down, ended up getting filled here around 49.95 for a 50-cent credit. The pressure still remains to the downside. What I'm watching is, if we pressure more to the downside, so be it. This is the SPY at 499. There's still a little bit further to go if I combine, kind of the shorter time frames, where we at on the higher time frame, and we're getting close to my big pullback levels. So filling that NVIDIA gap, 23%, 30%, 38%. It's like leaking lower. So the big plunge was Monday. The big plunge was Thursday. That's what kind of postured the move and put the bears in control. And then the rest is just the bulls can't win. So I'll watch intraday. I'll see if there's another opportunity to maybe grab a bear call spread or some type of broken wing butterfly to the upside to make sure if price stays lower, then there's no threat of a deeper sell-off. But I'll be watching prices too. So anyway, we're in a correction. That's it. I mean, we're at about a 4 to 6% correction across the board. And right now, 5% on the SPY. And the DIA is about the same. So high to low there, around 5 and change, 5.5%. And the Qs, this one had, 3 pretty decent days of selling. and from the highs to the low about 5.85%. Then you go to the old Russell with small caps faring way worse, around 9%. So that high to low is 9 and change, almost 9 and a third. So Russell not doing too hot, but we will see if some of these levels are offering some support. If the Russell comes all the way back down here, that's really disappointing from a 30+% rally. But higher for longer, kicking out the rate cycle for the Fed, waiting to cut rates until maybe September, maybe not at all in 2024. As it stands right now, who knows? So Russell is not doing well with small caps and higher borrowing costs. Okay. Ron, good morning. Jan, good morning. John, good morning. CVC, sounds like we're doing skateboard tricks. What, shredding? Do a little fingerboarding? All right. So that's our recap for the major indexes. Dollar index pulling back a little bit. Currency strength, like I said, Swiss on top, has given back quite a bit, though. Let me see if that is, I'm assuming with the JPY and the Swiss, that was an accurate move on some of these Swiss crosses. Oh, yeah. Holy shnikes. So that's a pretty pronounced move from 58.50 to 57.30, about 120 pip spike, 130 pip spike. I'm still buying. Let's see here. CAD Swiss, same thing with a spike to the downside. So big spike, it's being pushed back up. So I still think there's some severe buying interest on the Swiss crosses at these all-time lows, and that's the game I'm playing. Same thing on the Euro Swiss. Big spike down, push back up. So I'm just gonna hang out and wait. I will have to check and see if any of my pullback levels were filled. I may have had a pullback here around 1250 that could have been filled depending on how quickly that spike happened. If I go to a 5-minute chart. Okay, so this actually was a pretty solid liquid sell-off, not just a flash crash or some type of spike lower. It took a whatever 10 candles. So from 2050 to, so it took a couple hours. That's fine. So a pretty liquid correction, but has since come back. Daily chart looks like we just have noise, right? But we are going to see, how much risk off this market is taken in currencies, how much we're going to see in the stock market. Trade accordingly. Oil, gold, silver. Interesting that we're having, conflict in the Middle East, and it's not doing anything to oil pressure outside of slower demands, more conservative, risk off. I mean, that's certainly going to bring some oil down. There was a big inventory supply push into the markets this week, from what I read, like 2.7 million barrels hitting the markets. There's some fresh inventory added. So, dropping a little bit, as long as we don't break below 77. I think 77 is right in here. As long as we stay above that and this channel offers some support, I'm still pretty bullish on oil at this time. Bitcoin halving, yeah, we can talk about that now. All I'm going to do is watch price. I mean, in all honesty, the halvings happened every 4 years for the last decade or whatever. It's every 200 some thousand blocks, and every, I mean, again, I don't know the exact details, but I will say price action wise, I'm still looking for dips between 60 and 50 if we get it. But judging by price action right now, I mean, the market's up about 7 or 8% off these recent lows. I'm just looking to see if Bitcoin just kind of stays steady, survives this little correction, and doesn't really top out too dramatically. If we hold these levels, there's resistance. So the next big celebratory move is above 75, and then everyone's going to be, chanting 100 grand, 100 grand, because we might get there. But if this is indecision, draw this a little bit better. This is indecision here, and we break lower, that could be a measured move. We have stronger support in here, previous resistance becoming support, previous lows. Maybe this entire move, by the way, is cut in half. So if you have, and all I did was took this level from September of 2023 into the current all-time highs, and if we have decent pullback levels, here's a 382, here's a 50%, here's the golden ratio like 618. I mean, that area right in there could be where support is offered by the instrument. So there could be a little bit more downside, but like I said, I'm just going to watch pricing. The halving stuff has happened in the past. I mean, it's happened before. We've seen rallies. We have inflows and outflows of those ETFs. I know that there was a big read with is it AR? What's the ARK? Is it ARKB? Yeah, ARKB had some pretty severe outflows this week, as did GBTC, but IBIT had inflows. So this is the BlackRock, and I bought at 36. We're trading at 36.90 pre, which is actually up 70 cents from yesterday. GBTC up a little bit pre-market. BITO up a little bit pre-market. I got a buy trade in at 26.50. So let me see here. We go to BITO. I also have a bunch of expirations today. You can see here most of these are profit. IDOBM is longer term. That's out to January, so I'll continue to lower that. I have a couple of credit spreads of 189 by 188. That should be fine for today's expiration. And then SPY some profit. Let's see here. Iron Condor and bull put spreads. Yep, that's going to be profit. DIA, nice little profit there as well. BITO still holding. URA still holding. This should be expiring today. I've got some naked puts out to May. I have a little reverse Jade Lizard, as long as price doesn't go above 35. Yep, we're looking pretty good there for some profit in May and today. So anyway, mostly green for today's expirations, and that's fine by me. And this also helps me get through a major expiration cycle, and then I will be looking to kind of overall concentrate the portfolio. This is bear call spreads for today for about $1,200. Procter Gamble's a strangle that should be finishing in full profit today. Kimberly Clark up about $1,000. That should be profitable today. Iron Condor, yeah, so all looking good there. Pretty happy with that. Anyway, that'll be nice to look at a lot less symbols to be managing. I was going to show BITO with the buys. So bought some shares, leveled in at 26.50. I also have some long calls out to January, and I'm selling against those. I'll double check those break evens. I have some diagonal spreads running. Symbols include, let's see here, BITO, JD, GLD already closed, URA, PayPal, Chewy, Pfizer, TLT for bonds, Amazon, and DIA. Those are every 30 to 45 days. I'm selling calls against my long positions and lowering the cost basis and trying to, achieve bigger profit targets. So that's what's going on there. Thoughts on silver? One of my favorite trades. Glad you asked. Okay, so 25.86 on SLV. Go to XAG. Technically speaking, if we have a pullback, that's fine. But what am I looking for? I'm looking for price to at least hit a symmetry move towards 35 on XAG. I think I have that measured on SLV as well. There's two levels here. So this would be symmetry. And silver is legit one of my favorite trades right now. I really like it. So this low to high, I have been patiently waiting, grinding, and then holding. I've been holding SLV with all this consolidation, and then we finally had a breakout. So I'm long at 20. I've got credit spreads at 23 and 22. I did another like 27 by 26 out to May. I'm looking to see if we can hit up to the symmetry move. So this low to high pullback, if we're pushing to symmetry, that's the move at 35 and change. If we then pull back to retest this high and then push up again for a fifth wave, we're talking about $46, $47 on silver. So to me, as a measured move, this is a lot more predictable than gold at all-time highs and just running hot. So I think there's a little bit more calculated move and strategy on silver because we can see where it is likely going to go just based on symmetry and projections. So silver is one of my favorites right now. Good question. Let's see here. Currency-wise, take a quick glance at some currencies. Aussie CAD. Let's go where my currency's at. Aussie Swiss. Aussie Swiss, I'm still buying dips. Aussie Yen. Interesting. Oops, get rid of that. Let's see here. We finally came back to test the trend line. When you say symmetry with that low, yes. The answer is yes. Symmetry is this. I take a low to a high. So it's easy if I show it in a box. Check this out. If I take this low and I take this high, See this yellow box right here? That yellow box is the exact same thing. Ta-da! So I take it from that low. So it's low to high, higher low to higher high. That's symmetry. That's a conservative way to measure what the market does over and over again, which is A to B equals C to D. So there's my AB, there's my CD, right? Symmetry. That's my target 1. This is my target 2. All I'm doing is I'm measuring this same area, taking it from this resistance and pushing it up to there. Instead of getting a pullback, I'm measuring it in case we go 1. So it's A to B, pull back here. I'm not drawing this very well. If we go A to B, pull back here, C to D, pull back here, and then finish the move. Wave 1, wave 3, wave 5. That's what I'm looking at. Okay. All right. That's SLV. Let's go to some currencies. Still like buying the Swiss. The Aussie yen, what I was going to show is the Aussie yen came back and tested this trend line. What happened to my green box? I don't know. Did I not just have a trend line there a second ago? Strange. I did have a trend line here. There. So what did price do? What I have on my Flex trading room workspace, my Masterflex workspace, it just came down and finally tested the low, responding to the trend line. So if this is putting in a bottom, we're turning green, trying to carve out new highs. It's a really messy currency, right? I mean, the yen's a difficult one to trade, but it's still not breaking into this wide open sell space, right? So I'm not a seller on yen crosses. This to me looks like the market is still very eager to buy and reposition for carry trade. Same thing on the Swiss. So the carry trade is still alive and well, if you ask me. Aussie New Zealand, we're long at 108.64. We have some pullback levels in case we have this as a swing. So from low to high, low, high, we get some pullback levels. I'm looking to buy in here, and then looking for higher highs on Aussie New Zealand. Dollar crosses, probably still pulling back a little bit on the Aussie dollar. So pulling back on the Aussie dollar. Not ready to force sell trades yet, but on Masterflex, if we hit ribbons, go from green to red, I'm looking to sell and keep the dollar pressure going. Dollar to the upside, the dollar index has room to run. So I don't think this is necessarily the top. I think we could have a pullback, offer some support in here, offer some support in here. So I'm looking to see if the dollar will turn and continue to plug higher, challenge this high from last year, get to the top of the broadening pattern towards 108. So right now in this pre-summer push, I'm still looking for some dollar strength. Let's see here. CAD Swiss we looked at. CAD Yen, probably just a big, wick, and actually it's pushing up towards all-time highs. Swiss Yen, good riddance, right? We got stopped out at break even at 169. No trade for right now. Euro Aussie, some risk off trading. This is going to be one to watch for next week. Okay, if we break out on Euro Aussie, measure the move, project the move higher. We should be pushing up towards 69 or 1.70. So it's not there yet. I mean, we had a fake out down here. Don't just automatically assume it's going higher. All right, this is risk off trading. If we get to the upside and break, that's risk off. So if we see, stock market still going lower, we're seeing euro over Aussie. I mean, Aussie's a risk on currency. So I don't want to just take a, break or a chart alarm at the top. I want to make sure that price is closing higher, closing, look for a flag pattern, and then see if we can measure the move. So this is one that we can keep an eye on for, today if it keeps going, but with a little rejection at the top, we'll keep an eye on this one for next week. If you want to take this down to a smaller time frame, you may have already had a sell signal kick in, and you're getting some rejection on this trade already. But otherwise, waiting for a breakout, trying to trade some type of bull flag or bear flag, and then measure the move and project, right? Project your, again, symmetry, but just a box. Euro CAD, garbage. Euro pound, garbage. Euro yen, long wick, but that's crazy, right? All the way back down, just buying the dip. Carry trade, Euro New Zealand, some risk off trading. I was looking for the Euro New Zealand to offer this. If we had a high, low, retested the lows perhaps to get long, I am liking this pair up to these highs, up to these highs. So I'm still looking for Euro New Zealand and Pound New Zealand to continue to go higher. Mofa's asking about option classes. Mofa, you in my Discord? Let me see here. Let me throw an invite out to my Discord. Come on in. Water's fine. Generate new link. Copy. So Discord. Whoops. There you go. Pop in there and we can chat. So Euro New Zealand's there. Euro dollar's pulling back. Don't think this is the bottom necessarily. We're making lower highs and lower lows, but I'm looking for this level or this level to offer up some type of resistance to see if the euro dollar is going to continue to go lower, dollar index goes higher. To me, this would shift and I'd all of a sudden be way more bullish on this if we take out this high. If we break this trend line, take out this high, then I think the dollar's putting in more of a top. In this case, euro dollar put in a bottom. But until then, I think this is just a pullback to some resistance and then look to see if this continuation goes back down to lows. 105, 104, be taking some profit in that area. Since we did get to parity not that long ago, that's also, if the dollar index is stubbornly strong, the euro dollar might continue to weaken towards parity as well. But I'm not there yet. I'm just looking to see if this kind of 107 to 107.50 will hold as resistance for right now. Pound Aussie, I mean, we had a broadening pattern. I missed the trade on the lows. We were looking at something like this, and it is also showing some risk off trading. So looking to head higher, I think heading higher. But I'd rather get a chance to buy this thing at the equal lows again. I just think it's a range for right now. We just had opening bell. I'll check the markets here in just a minute. Pound Canadian, that trade's garbage. Yep, I'd stay out of that one for right now. Pound Swiss, we had a pullback, but I'm still buying dips. Pound yen, probably pushing up to recent highs. Yep, just a huge wick to the downside. What was that move, by the way? All overnight, about 227 pips. Ooh, baby. Got some volatility there. Pound New Zealand's. Looking to see if this head and shoulders pattern will play out. Left shoulder, head to neckline, right shoulder. You can see this a little noisy on the neckline, but again, take this measured move, project it to symmetry. It's pretty close. We also project the break of the neckline. It's going to be pushing up here. So I'm looking to see, if we're offered up another chance to buy a equal low, we go from break, retest, go, something like that. Obviously, if it doesn't pull back again, then we just look for price to close, give us a flag pattern, and then head higher. Tighter stop loss, eliminate risk as you go, but that would be my target. If I measure this move with a little bit more precision, then I take this box right here. There's my neckline. Symmetry, we're very close to hitting. We're very close to hitting it already at 2.12, 2.1250. But if we break the neckline here, then you can see that pushes up towards 2.16, and the projected move would be around 2.18. So some upside potential on that Pound New Zealand. Pound dollar, it's been selling off. We're getting a pullback on this one. I'm still looking to see if the dollar gets stronger. If we pull back into here, lower high, lower high, lower high. If it stays that way and we continue to go lower on the pound dollar. Dollar index looking for strength. New Zealand CAD, just chilling on this one, looking for some better upside. New Zealand Swiss buying the dips. New Zealand yen, probably right back where we started. New Zealand dollar, looking to see if we can tap these lows at 57.75. Dollar CAD, 38.50 turn. We're getting some pullbacks on this latest run. This is okay. I think if you go from this area, we get a pullback. We're still looking for a final push into this 139 to 140 area. If this is the top on the dollar CAD, I'm going to be pretty mad. we finally had a high over here. We've had previous highs as well as 39. So I don't think this is necessarily the turning point. But anyway, I'm looking to see if we need to get some dips to get filled on the dollar CAD. Dollar Swiss, buying the dip. Whoa, it's way off. So if this one, turns and pulls back, again, fib wise, totally fine. Take this low. Why would I get assigned shares of the? Oh my god, you freaking turds! What the hell, man? Bear call spread. They should have been exercised to make so that the bull put would have been closed out, break even. This one should be a small win. Let me see what this is trading for. 130, 5-cent debit. I'm just going to close it. Let me see if I can get out of here for 5 cents. All right, so I took about 40 cents net profit on TSM for that was a earnings credit spread. That trade's done. Netflix expiration today. I'll be watching these levels. I need it to stay below 565. It's right there. Let me see if I can close this out. So this one, this one, this one, this one. So I need 3. This should close out for like 740 if I'm going to make any money on this. 772. I'm upside down. There we go. It's a wide target right now, but I collected 740 or 750 on it, 375 each. So I need this to get below as a total debit for the 19th expiration. If this is below 740, I'm making profit on it. So with a little time decay today, where's current price? We're down. Yeah, so I'm trading right around that in the money. That's an in the money, deep in the money bear call spread. And I need price to just push a little bit lower to 565. If it pulls back and starts to fill the gap a little bit, then I'm probably going to take a small loss on it. Let's see. 832 debit. Let me see if I can get out of here for like $7. Okay. Let's see. $7. Review. Send. I'll leave that pending. If it gets below $7, I'll make $50 on the trade. If it pushes lower, I mean, if it's pushing lower on the day, I'm not drawing that very well. If it pushes lower on the day, then I will either get my $50 or I can get rid of my trade altogether and collect 375, take the loss of 125, and net profit would be 250. But I need to get a little bit more, a little bit better sense that well, there you go. I just made $50 on Netflix. Okay, well, that was easy. So collected 750, closed out for $7. I'm just going to take the profit because, and here's why, it was flirting with my levels, right? So I need price to get all the way below that for today's expiration, and because it was right on it, in case it gaps lower, tries to fill the gap, all my risk is in here. So I'll take my $50, walk away. If it blew through my levels, I wouldn't be worried about it. I would just let the trade expire today. But just taking the profit. So closed out for 35, $40 on TSM, closed out for $50 on Netflix. Trades done. Good on that. And then that should be the remainder. Let me see what these are trading for. 640. And let me make sure. Let's go 7 days. Make sure these were filled for 375 as well, because if it is, I might take profit on this one as well. Let me see. 375 for the 19th. 375 for the 19th. 375. Where's my 26th? These should both be filled at 375. Just want to make sure, because I could close this one down. Looks like I'm making more money on this one right now. I'm still up about 70 bucks. Close. Spreads are obviously pretty wide. Let me see if I can get out of here for $7 again. Got filled on that. All right, I just grabbed 50 bucks on Netflix, and those trades are done. Okay, if you're in my equities on demand class, I'm closing out Netflix, closing out TSM, and net profit. So 50 bucks on Netflix for April 19th, 50 bucks for April 26th. TSM. So this was weird. I was assigned on the put side. Okay, and so I'm taking profit on the call side. They were both exercised at the same time. So the broker assigned me, but exercised my long put to have it work out to be about a $6 loss, and that's mostly from fees. And then the bear call spread was in profit by about 40 bucks. So like I said, $35 roughly on the overall take, and I'm out. So TSM closed, Netflix closed. That was a trade in equities on demand. So let me track that here. And if anybody else has any questions, let me know. So that was I think we put that in this spreadsheet versus Delta Trader. Let's see here. So Amazon, that's long call. TSM, so close win for TSM. One of them was a loss. So the bear bull put spread was a loss. Oops. So that's a loss, but that's a win, and net profit is fine. Netflix, this was the 565, 570. That's break. I mean, I don't have a break even, but I'll just say I'll take the break even on that one. And the actually that is a close win because that's what we're profitable on net. And then this one is a small loss. And that's red. So we did 50-50, but that's what the trade was. It was an earnings play. We're going to lose on one, win on one, but walk away net profitable. So that was pretty straightforward. And that's it. So little earnings action this week. BX is the other one that I'll be watching for next week. See if BX can make a move one way or the other. Okay. All right. It's 9:40. Any other questions in the charts? I'm going to take a look. Let me look at the SPY trading just a smidge lower. Let me go into my option software here. One thing, taking a quick peek. A couple things here. Let me go to, let's talk some probabilities. So yesterday, here's the low from yesterday. Okay. So low from yesterday, right before closing bell. I'll just put a line there. And one statistic I wanted to take a quick peek at right here. If we go previous day's range, let's check this out for a moment. So by standard is this. If we take out the previous day's low, 76% of the time, this is for, let's go year to date. Okay, 82% of the time, if we take out the previous day's lows, it's going to stay low. It's going to stay red on the day. 82%. That's just this. I mean, it's not a huge sample size, but we've got about 4 months for this year to date. If we go into the last year, which is a rolling 12 months, again, 76% of the time, if we take out today's low, we're going to stay red on the day. Go back 5 years, 77% of the time, we take out today's low, we're going to stay red on the day. Higher probability is if the market is pressuring this downside, if this level holds. Okay, if this level holds and we take out yesterday's high, we're probably going to finish green on the day. All right, so let me go back to that data point. This is interesting stuff. So the day's range, if we're at the low and it's broken, it's probably going to stay red. If the previous day's high is broken, 77% of the time we're going to stay green. So that is right here to watch. And this is how I'm going to position for the day. If we take out the low, we're probably going to finish lower. We take out the high, we're probably going to finish higher, right? So here's what I'm going to look at right now. And then I just was asked to join the A1 trading team at 10 a.m. So we'll take a little breather here for the Pulver report, and then I'll come back at 10 o'clock and dual stream with them. It's actually felt weird to not be with them this week since they had a power outage. But yep, I'm in. Okay, I was going to take a look at SPY, like a 480 on the SPY. Let me see what this looks like. So if I go SPY trade, next week expiration is the 26th. If I go to the 480 level, and let's do a put butterfly, move these strikes. I just want to see if I can get some credit for this. So if I did a 480 and I pin that price, set up my skip strike right here, 21 cents credit, not too bad. 25 cents credit. That can't be right. Oh yeah, okay. So 21. All right, let me check that. I mean, probability of profit is extremely high. If I pin this price for next week, that is outside the expected move. I mean, we're looking at something that moves around $9 or $10. We're currently at 500. I'm going to 480. I doubt we're getting there by next week. So I think I'm going to take this trade. Fills aren't too bad. That's a little bit more risk than I want for, the limited credit add-on. So this is 23 cents. Let me see if I get filled for 25. If I do 4 contracts, that's $100 a profit. If we pin this thing, I can make $500. That's a lot of risk if it goes beyond. That'd be a crazy move if we went to 480 by next week. So if we go to 480, 480 would be almost a 4% drop for the week. It could happen, but it is highly unlikely. And I also think that the market would respond to that. So I don't want to get too crazy on the sizes here, but if we did maybe a skip strike there. Oh, I'm also noticing this. Okay, I see what's going on there. I'm going to keep it here. That's already more risk than I look at how I go from dollar spreads to then $5 spreads. That's a really stupid expiration. Let me see if I can go to the 25th. Son of a gun. How do these spreads get so garbage? 481. Maybe let me try this. So I'm going to try to keep the spreads a little bit tighter before I'm going to like a, $10 spread. That's ridiculous. So if I did the 482 skip strike there, that was my concern, is we're going to get 0 credit for it. So screw that. I'm going to the SPX instead. And let's take a look at the SPX and see the same type of setup. So if we come back to the SPX, it'd be around a 48.15. I should be able to get a much better price on that. So let me go 48.15. Go move these strikes up. Okay, 48.15. So if I sell, skip, collect 20 cents, that's better. 35 cents. So I'll do this. 48.15 puts me right at all-time highs. That's another, 3 to 4% to the downside. 48.15. See if I can go 48.10 right here. Is it a big difference in credit? 45 cents credit. 15 cents credit. That's 20 cents, 35 cents, 40. I'm going to take this trade. 48.10. See if I get 40 cents for this one. Do 2 contracts. Let me see if I can get, I'm going to try to set this for 50 cents. Come on, 50 cents. 50 cents. Take the trade. See if that will fill. And go similar. All right. I'm going to place these for all the accounts. Similar 9732. Similar 8051. And this just takes a couple minutes for me to get all the positions ready. Similar 911. Similar 2634. Couple more and then I'll let you go. We'll take a little break and I'll come back at 10 o'clock with A1 trading. I'll just keep streaming on my own channel. 9151 and 9072. Boom, boom. Okay, hopefully this will end up filling. This is a trade for next Friday. I'll float out some levels here. This is what I'm watching on the day. If price ends up drifting a little bit higher or lower, I might look at a broken wing butterfly. If we drift a little bit lower and we have a 40, 50 point move on the day, I might go 80 to 90 points out, get a broken wing out here. Price moves a little bit higher, moves our 40, 50 points. I might look at that 80, 90 points and try to get a broken wing above. So I'll be watching to see what price does today. Near the end of the day, I also might look at an expiration for Monday to stay out of the way and collect a little income on Monday. Okay. Yep. So Gary, I'm going to push EOD back to noon today. Yep. I'll put that in Discord right now because I should have the 11 o'clock webinar with Six Figure Ultimate once again. I've got class at 1. So we will do this session, A1 trading at 10. Got an 11 o'clock webinar for Six Figure Ultimate. 12 o'clock we'll do equities on demand. And 1 o'clock I've got class for Six Figure. That's the week. I don't know why I did that. It's thumbs up. View on US 30, that's the Dow, John. It's the same. It's the same as any of the others. I think we're in a correction territory. So if you're trading US 30, similar to the Dow, previous highs right in here. All I'm looking at are these big fib levels to see if there's any type of support coming in the next maybe 1 or 2 weeks. There's my big swing from low to high. We pulled back to the 330 pullback zone. That's not a fib. That's a Gann retracement level. But you can see that on the day, look at what's happening to the Dow on the day. That's a big correction to the upside. There is a high probability that a 30% pullback can come back and retest the high. So, yes, we can fall and we can retest the 382, but I'm looking for either the 30 or the 382 to offer a buying opportunity as we get to that like 5, 6, 7% level. Okay, so for the US 30, this would be my previous high. I want to go array, horizontal array. There. That's my previous all-time high. Okay. Looks like we've got the market. So the SPY is not responding to that type of move up. The DIA is holding where it is. US 30 is a little bit more volatile. Qs are pushing down a little bit lower. This is another one. If I can get some decent fills, Qs down to around 405. Let me check this one out as well. So SPX, come on, just give me 50 cents, would you? 50, is it that hard to go a week out, get that thing in a good position? And then QQQ, check this one really quickly. This could sell off, continue another 3%'s not that far. Let me see if I can get positioned here, if I can pin this thing around 404. Let me see what that looks like on the Qs. So if I go out to the 26th, spreads remain even, which is good. That's way better than the freaking SPY. I don't know why they went to like $5 and $10 spreads all of a sudden. 403, I'd try to pin the 403. So if I do a butterfly here, move the strikes up, looking to pin the 403. and then I broken wing that thing. Yuck. 10 cents credit. It's just these indexes are awful. So ETF indexes are awful. I might just have to trade the actual NASDAQ. What? That's not it. There it is, NDX. See what the price is. So this would be a little bit more liquid if I can get this one to show some options. Let's go NDX. NDX. There. All-time highs, 16,600. So that'd be, if I pin this thing, yeah, 16,600. Let me see what I can get. If I go out to the 26th, 16,600. That's an 11 delta. I could get that. Let me see if this will pay. So strike's going to move these all together. 16,600. Keep going, keep going, keep going. And there we go. All right, I'm going to double check that is 16,600. Yeah, I like that spot. Let me see if they'll give me anything good for it. 16,600. Skip strike. There. Okay, I can get 70 to 80 cents for that next week. I'm going to take this trade. I'm going to go 2 contracts. Come on now. I'm going to see if I get 50 cents for it. Spread is obviously all over the place, but let me see if I get 50 cents or better. Hopefully it'll give me 50 cents or better. 75 cents credit. Anybody? Takers? Working. Well, that's probably not going to fill then. So it's mid at 90. 75 is what I'm asking for. Similar order. Might not be as liquid as the SPX, but I'm just going to put it in there anyway. 9372. I'm just going to go through the trades. Similar. Get all these set up. 8051. Similar. 911. Similar. 7634. And final spot there. All right, so those are pending. So SPX and NDX trying to get some trades running. Let price come to me. Try to get some credit if price falls into that 382 pullback zone, as well as the previous all-time highs. Looking to see if that's offering a bump for me. Hopefully they fill. Yeah. All right. So here's the deal. On Discord. I'm going to say today's schedule. And how about this? Equities on demand traders, let's just put in the Google Meet and I'll post it in Telegram. We've obviously had AV issues all week. If I just do it in Google Meet from the very beginning, just one less thing to worry about. So today's schedule, Pulver report. This was the 9 a.m. Pulver report. Done. 10 a.m. Bonus session with A1 Trading. I'll join them in just a minute. 11 a.m. six-figure ultimate webinar. 12, we'll go 12:15 p.m. That will be equities on demand. And I'll do Google Meet. I'll set that link in Telegram before right at class. And then 1 p.m. is six-figure ultimate class. Okay, so that's the schedule for today. If you have any questions, let me know. I've got a couple videos to do this weekend. I wanted to do a video on the software that I showed just a little bit ago. Let me see if I can bring up that browser again. This is Edgeful. I've been using this in my equities on demand trading room. This has become a very helpful tool for me to find some probabilities day to day. As an example, if we go to going to price action, going to gap fills. Okay, anytime we have gaps, higher or lower, what's the probability of filling the gap on a single day? What's the standard for the last 5 years by weekday? One of my favorites as well is going to be with price action. Doing the, let's go volume. And you can see here that shares increasingly get more and more. I mean, so Wednesday, Thursday, Friday are higher volume days, dollar movements in the SPY. If I go into indicators and ATRs, this is also really helpful by, the standard is that most of the time, 66% of the time, the market respects the range. We're currently sitting in a current ATR range of 579, so just below $6 a day, which translates to about $60 on the SPX. Most of the time, the market respects that range. So really quickly, what do I glean from that information? Well, if we have a move on the day that goes up 60 points, probability is we're not going to go too much higher than that. So anytime I get a big 50, 60 point move in one direction, I'm then looking to either fade that move to stay out of the way for a selling trade so I can collect some credit on the day, or if I'm directional, then I try to trade directionally on Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays to look for that kind of 0 to 1 DTE move. So anyway, I want to do a specific video, probably 15 to 20 minutes on this to kind of break it down, showcase more of what it is and how it all plays out. But this is a great tool to use. There's tons of information on here. And you probably didn't hear that, but I just got filled on NDX. So awesome. So I got filled 75 cents on the NDX. Good, good, good. Still not filled yet on the SPX, but that's out for next Friday. Excellent. Okay. All right. I'm going to switch over. It's 10 o'clock. I'm going to jump into A1 trading. Just come right back to the stream. Talk to you soon.